So go to your Google Classroom, guys. We're in week 4. Listen, and we're still continuing with fractions and percents, but now it's gonna be real world situations. Okay, so we're gonna click there and click on the teacher made, and you're gonna open it. Today I'm gonna tell you what I expect you to do while you're in class and what you're gonna do at home. The homework journal is what you're gonna do at home. And right now we're gonna do some stuff together in class. Okay? So right now it's gonna load up. Begin with Google. Make sure you select your BISD account. So make sure that if you have other accounts or there's other accounts, you check the right one. And there's today's homework. Here's how it works. I hope y'all got your calculator, the ones that you should know right now who's a calculator kid, because I told you. I always grab one when you come in. Because today I'm going to show you how to use it too here. So I will do one, you will do one. I will do one, you will do one. Okay? So it's important that if you know that you don't have access to YouTube or internet at home, you need to come and get a copy of the homework so you can have it. Because if not, with a video, you're going to be able to pause it, look at the problem, and do the work. Play the video, pause it, look at the problem, and do the work. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? So basically, I will do number 2 here in class. I'll do number 4 in class, and I'll do number 6 in class. When you go home, you will do for homework 1, 3, and 5.
That's all?
Off the video. I might go all the way to 8. I don't know. We'll see how fast we go with you all. Okay?
Sure. But you're not going to give
So,
me the paper, right?
No, it'll be off the video unless you do not have access to internet, or you like if your mom will not let you use her phone, or you don't have access, then you need a copy. Basically, that's what I'm trying to tell you, and I'll get you the copy. So if you know that you're gonna be one of those, you let me know, okay? And I'll get you the copy. Questions? Okay. So I will do number 2, you will do number 1. I'll do number 4, you'll do number 3. I'll do number 5, and you'll do number 6. And what I usually do, I try to do the harder ones. But the way I do number 2, that's the way you're gonna do number 1. So that's why there's no excuse that, oh, I don't know how to do it. Well, it's being recorded at this moment. Plus, I'm gonna model it for you how I want it. So how I did number 2, you better go do number 1. How I do number 4, you're gonna do number 3. How I do number 5, you're gonna do number 6, and so on. I always do it that way, so it'll be easy for you. So let's start. You already open, guys? I'm gonna start with number 2. So it says Laura has 13 graphic novels in her book collection. She has 100 books in all. What percent of the books are graphic novels? So I like to start with my question first, guys. So in the morning, I noticed that some kids did not know where the question begins. Who can tell me where this question begins? The question.
What?
Good, thank you. What? Yeah. The question begins here. What? You see that question mark? Go reverse, and when you hit the period, that's where the question begins. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my highlighter here on the top. Click on it. I would change the color to something that's lighter. So I'm gonna change it to yellow. And then from the question, what do you think will be important that deals with math? What should I highlight from the question that's dealing with math? Percent, good. Say it. I mean,
Percent.
so how do we do it? Look, you put the little cross there. You just drag it with your left. You hold down the left key and then drag it up. There's percent. What else? Percent of what? What do they want to know? Percent of what? Of the books. What type of books?
Graphic.
Good. You have to put all that stuff. So basically, my question is, what percent of the books are graphic novels? Okay, so now I know what they want. 8% of graphic novels. Now I'm gonna go to the first sentence. Laura has 13 graphic novels in her book collection. What would I box there? Or like highlight there? What would I highlight there in the first sentence? 13 graphic novels. So I'm gonna highlight 13 graphic novels. Anything else that's important in that first sentence? No, first sentence. Right now we're gonna get to that one.
13.
That's it, right? Second sentence. She has 100 books in all. What will be important there in that sentence?
Percent.
No, second sentence. She has 100 books in all.
Yes.
100 books. Do you think all would be important? Yeah. What's all in math? What's a math word for all?
4.
It starts with a T. Total. When you can identify a total in math, it's so important. Okay? Okay, so now I have my stuff ready, yes?
Yeet.
So I already highlighted my stuff, so now I'm gonna go to my paper or my journal. And on your journal, go to a brand new page. Okay? Should be like the first page or second, depends on you. And put here HW 6.4G. And today's date is 9/5/23. Just leave it there. And you can sit anywhere you want and grab a laptop.
Sir,
Okay.
So we're gonna even have to.
Number 2. No, sir. Right now, that's why I'm modeling what I want. Number 2. What would be important from the question? They want a percent. A percent of what? Just look at the stuff that you have there already highlighted. A percent of what?
13.
Of the books that are what?
13.
Graphic novels.
Oh.
So we're just grabbing the stuff right now. We're still not working. Just grabbing the stuff. Percent books, graphic novels. There. Do I need to know? Yeah, you're just grabbing the information. Second sentence. What was important in the second sentence?
She has 100 books.
100 books.
In all.
And we call that the total because of the word in all. Good. First sentence.
13 graphic novels.
Very good. 13 graphic novels. If you notice, I put a bunch of question marks and I'm going to underline it so we can know what's our real question and what's our information. So basically what I'm doing, guys, is this. All I did is I got from my computer, which you're going to get from the video. By pausing the video, you're going to grab what you need. Okay? If this was a start test, you would be able to highlight and then grab what you need. You need to show me work. Okay? Boys, listen. Now, the question mark is what they're asking. They want 8% of books that are graphic novels. This is just information. 100 books were the total. 13 are graphic novels. Now that I have that, I know that the main goal is to get a percent. So let's think about last week's lessons. How do I get a percent? How do I find a percent? Good job, sir. We have to have a fraction. So we know that our strategy, now we're going to put a strategy that we learned in class. Our strategy is to quickly, once they want a percent, that's what they want, 8%. Our strategy is to quickly put fraction is what I need. After the fraction, what would I have to do with a fraction? Change it to what? Decimal. And after the decimal, what would I have to do with that one? Percent. So as soon as I saw this percent books, I know I need a fraction somewhere. Okay? Questions? Now, let's pretend that I forgot how to go from fraction to decimal percent. Well, it's on the video. I'm going to show you. It's going to be on the video, but it's also on your notes. So on your notes, you have this little nice triangle organizer that tells you how can I go from fraction to decimal and from decimal to what? Percent. So it's there also. Now, here we go. Do you see a fraction here? Do you see a fraction here? No. So how can I make a fraction out of this? Well, on your notes also, in case I would forget, I told you on your notes that to make a fraction, it says that you need what on the bottom? Total. The B, which is the denominator, should be the total. And on the top, what do you need? What's being considered, what they're asking you for. Okay? So let's do that. What goes on the bottom? The total. The total parts which will make the whole. You're right about that. And what goes on the top? What they're asking you. So I like to put the question mark on the top. What are they considering? What are they asking? Okay, so let's go get our information. You see, I don't even need the computer number. I'm going to go straight to this now. What will be the total according to our information? So put it on the bottom. What are they asking us for? The graphic novel. So what goes on top? 13. I have a question for you. What if I would have said this on the question? So be careful, because some of you are going to get to bad habits and say, I know how to do this. Total on the top, on the bottom, and then whatever's they're telling you on the top. No, you have to focus on the question. Look at this question. What percent of books are not graphic novels? What would you do now? Would you still put the 13 on the top? No. How would you find the other ones? Subtract. Good job, Axel. You would subtract 100 minus 13 to find the others. Okay, very good.
Hi, sir.
So, how do I go from fraction to decimal? Divide. So let's divide. Bottom out, right? So I'm going to go to the side. No lo hagan aquí. Go somewhere else, like far away from it, because I want this nice to be clean. Nice seeing you, Victoria. This to be clean. 13 divided by 100. Bottom out. 13 divided by 100. Now, bottom out. The bottom stays out. The 13 comes in. Now, this is for the calculator kids only. Nobody else will do this. Get your calculator. Only calculator kids. Right now, I'm going to go back to the ones that are not calculator kids. And I'm going to go ahead and punch in how it works. Whatever's inside always goes first. So who's inside? 13. So punch in 13. Calculator kids, do it. You see that little, that's divided. So punch in divide. 100 equal. And we got what? 0.13. So go ahead and put here on top 0.13. And now we change from fraction to decimal. That's the kids with a calculator. This is your work, the calculator kids, that's your work for that part. This is for calculator kids. Now let's go with a non-calculator kids, because I'm showing you both ways so you know what I expect. If you're a calculator kid, boom. If you're a non-calculator kid, quickly search. Let's do that work now. 13 divided by 100. Bottom out. The bottom stays out. Here we go. 1, is that enough?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's great, sir. 1, is that enough? That's awesome, sir. 1, is that enough?
No.
No. 13, is that enough?
No.
You see, the non-calculator kids, we have to calculate, basically. But we still know it's divide. So now what do I do when it's not enough? Add a 0. We make more pieces. Now 130, would that be enough? Yes, times what? 1. So 1 times 100 will be 100. We subtract. So the difference between the calculator kid and the non-calculator kid is that the calculator kid has to think about the calculation. You guys just punch it in. The calculator will add the zeros and all that stuff. Okay? 130 minus 30 would be 30. What do you do when there's a remainder? What do we do when there's a remainder? We add another 0. We make more pieces. So we're going to add another 0. Now we have 300. 100 times what gives me 300? 3. Did we get the same answer as the calculator kid? Yes. So that's the difference. But you still have to show me all the work. Because sometimes kids that have a calculator think, oh, I don't have to show work. Yes, you do. You have to tell me what they're giving you, what they're asking you, my strategy, what I expect, and then go and calculate. We'll do the work on the sides or on the bottom. So now we know that the decimal is 0.13. Are we done yet? No. Because now from decimal, we're going to go to what? Percent. If I forget, you have your notes journal to look at it. But how do we go from decimal to percent? Now you see the calculator is going to help you now, boys and girls. Twice to the right. So you write it. You don't do it here, guys. You write it here. 0.13. And now let's move it twice to the what? Right. 1, 2. Now rewrite it. This means 13 the percent. And if you notice, I boxed the answer, so Mr. Rivera knows what my final answer is. 13%. And I'm now going to back to the computer. And now you tell me what answer should I select? F, G, H, J. Yes, ma'am. Here we go. What's the answer you're gonna select? A, F, G, H, or J? Huh? F? H. You see, that's what I noticed in the homework too. Some of you want to keep the decimal. No.
The decimal is trash now.
The decimal, that's not trash, sir, but it moved to the right already. Like we already went from fraction to from decimal to percent. You see that decimal 0.13? Now it's at the end. It's at the end. But don't forget to put the symbol. So it's not in the front anymore. It's 13%. There, you're done. Questions? Now, how do I select it on the computer? You cannot, right now we're in highlighted mode. You need to click on the cursor again. You see that little arrow? Click on that one and choose letter H. Questions?
So you just choose it right now?
Yes. Now, the way I did number 2, you're going to go home and do number 1 off the video. So right now I'm going to zoom so you can see it better for the video purposes. I'm going to zoom number 1. And I'm going to even read the question for you. Okay? Here we go. This is for homework. The way I did number 2, you're going to go home and do number 1 by yourself in your homework journal. The way I did number 2, you're going to go home and do number 1 by yourself. The question is, Jermaine has 100 coins and 76 of them are nickels. What percent of the coins are nickels? What percent of the coins are nickels? The way I did number 2, you will go home and do number 1. So when you're at that video, you will pause the video, get your information the way I did it, do the work, and then play the video. Question with number 1. That's for homework. So put here on your paper, put HW number 1. HW means that's for homework. You're going to go home and do it at home, probably in the back of the page or wherever you have space. Here we go. Now I'm going to go to number 4. Ready? Number 4, the number of students in 6th grade is 1.03 times the number of students in 5th grade. What percent is equivalent to 1.03? Okay? Ready? Okay. Number 4. What will be important from the question? So on your paper, draw a line already. We're done with number 2. Draw a line. And now we're going to do number what? 4.
So you're doing the even and we're doing the...
Basically, yes. And exactly the way I'm doing the evens, that's the way it's the odds. That's why kids that fail are the kids that are not watching the video or are not paying attention. They're messing around. Okay? And then when your mom comes in and I show the cameras what you're doing, then you're going to be there. I'm going to show, mira, en vez de haciendo caso, he was messing around with his friend. Okay? Number 4, the number of students in 6th grade is 1.03 times the number of students in 5th grade. What percent is equivalent to 1.03? So, what would be the question?
That's asking you, is something that's specifically the same?
Very good. What percent is, what is equivalent in math?
Same.
Equal is equal to what?
Wait, what? 0.1.
1.03. Okay. Let me show you what I copied. All I did is I listened to Andrea and Gabriel. They wanted 8%, so that's what I put. They want 8% is equal to 1.03. That's all they want. So this is my question. So I like to put question marks there. Now from the story, they did mention 1.03, 1.03 times the number of students in fifth grade, so times fifth graders. But to be honest, that's not important because they're not making it times. They're just, now, later on, when we go on along the year, that word times is going to be important. I'm going to have to multiply, but not in this question. They just want you to go from decimal to what? To what? Percent. That's it. So they just want me to go from decimal to percent. This is not important right now. So, okay, what? So, my strategy is to go from decimal to percent. Do I need a fraction this time? No, because they were already nice. They already gave me the what? The decimal. So let's put it already. 1.03. Thank you for being nice. They already gave it to me. So how do I switch from decimal to percent? Twice to the right. So I'm going to go ahead and put 1.03 on the side, and I'm going to go twice to the right. 1, 2. So what's the percent? I'm going right. What's the percent? 103%. Perfect. Box the answer, and which one would you select? A, F, G, or H or J? Huh? G. So write the letter 2, guys, and box that. And then you go right there. Okay, so all I did, thank you, sir. All I did, I went twice to the right. 1, 2. The decimals at the end. Don't forget to put the symbol of percentage at the end. The answer is G. Please don't forget when you go home to do the circle the number that you're working on and box the answer and box the letter you're choosing. Your homework that looks like number 4 will be 3. So I'm kind of matching it. So when you go home, if I'm all confused with number 3, what part of the video should you be looking at? 4. If I'm confused with number 1, what part of the video should I be looking at? 2. So there's no excuse that, oh, es que no sé qué hacer, mamá. O si aquí está, te estoy diciendo que esta es igualita que esta. Esta es igualita que esta. So your homework is number 3. Questions with number 4? Let me read number 3 so you can know what number 3 is about. And right when I'm reading this for you to pause and do the work at home, right? During a sale, all prices in a clothing store were reduced 0.85 times the regular price. What percent is equivalent to 0.85? What percent is equivalent to 0.85? Is it the same type of question? Yes. So the way I did number 4, you're going to go home and do number 3 by yourself. How am I going to do this? I'm going to pause the video, get my stuff on my paper, and answer it. Okay? When you get here tomorrow, we're going to open the assignment and transfer whatever you have answers into the computer of your number 1 and number 3. Right now, all of you should already have 2 answers. Number 2 and number what? 4. Okay, I'm done with number 4. Let's go now to the bottom. This time I'm going to do the odd numbers, so it's not always the even. This time I'm going to go the other way to the odd. And the reason I do that is I try to select the harder one to do with you, and then you do the easier one at home. I don't have no more space, so I'm going to the back me. I don't know about you. If you have space, draw a line, and let's go to now the next one. I don't have space, so I'm going to the back page. Use the back pages. Don't be skipping. Use the back pages. I'm doing number 5 now. So number 5 is what I'm doing. Circle it, right? And guess what's for homework then? 6. HW would be 6. Okay? I said that I'm going to be choosing. It's usually like I try to do all the evens, but if I see that one you might have trouble, I switch it around.
Is it supposed to be 6?
Okay, I'm doing number 5. I decide what I do. And the reason is because I'm trying to choose the harder one that I do. The other one I think it's easier, to be honest. Here we go. The number of deer in a state park has increased by 253%. What decimal is equivalent to 253%? Okay, let's get our highlighter. From the question, what would you highlight?
What?
What
Decimal.
decimal? Good. What else? What else would you highlight? Good job. Equivalent deals with math. Anything that deals with math, you have to highlight. What else would you highlight? 253%. Good. From the story, the number of deer in the state park has increased by 253%. What would you highlight there? Increase by 253. Maybe deer, right? The number of deer. Number of deer. Anything else? Okay, let's start with that question. What do they want us to do? They want us to go from percent to decimal. They want me to go from percent to decimal. Yes? Put some question marks because that's what they want. So está bien fácil. So what's the percent that they gave us?
200.
And that's the increase, right? They mentioned that that's the increase, which is not important right now because I'm just going from percent to decimal. Okay. So let's put our strategy is going from percent to decimal. Let's see what our strategy is because maybe I forgot. So where can I check if I forget stuff? Journal or video, right? Today was journal right now. So I'm going to go to my journal and to my nice little graphic organizer and check. They want to go from percent to decimal. So this guy goes from percent to fraction. No, that's not what they want. So let me try the other triangle. From percent to decimal. Oh, yes, this is the one. What does it say? Divide by 100 or move twice to the... No? Left. Esa es la reversa. Mami. Twice to the left. So está bien fácil, so let's go ahead and write it. 253%. I'm going to go to the side and do the work on the side. Don't do it there. Tell me where to put the decimal, because there's no decimal right now. Do I put it here?
No.
Here?
Yes.
No, not yet. Here?
No.
Here?
No.
Here? Yes. It's right here. Right now, it's right here. At this moment, the decimal is right there. Now we can move twice to the left. Because we're going back to decimal. We're going from percent to decimal. So I'm going to go 1, 2. What's the answer? 2.53. Do I put the percent symbol at the end? No, because we're going from percent to decimal. Done. Questions? Now, this one is not a multiple choice type of question. I have to punch it in. So you see that little box on the bottom? You first go to your scroll button. This guy, the cursor. Click on that one, and now you're going to be able to punch in nothing. And click inside the box. This pops out. Don't panic with all that stuff, because then I'm going to teach you how to do that. But right now, we just are going to punch in this. 2. You see that decimal right there? 0.53. Once you do that, you can close the box. And there's your answer, 2.53. Questions how to punch in that? I'm going to do it again. No spaces or anything, guys. 2.53. Close it, and you're done. Now later on, some of the answers are going to be negative, so we're going to have to go and put a negative right in front of it, and the negative symbol will be right here. This would be the negative symbol. No, not that one.
It's a minus.
F of x. Okay, so in this one, we'll just put a minus. So yeah, we'll just put the minus will be the negative symbol in this type of equation editor. You don't need negatives right now, guys. So again, how do I do it? 2.53. Okay. Questions? The way I did number 5, that's the way you're gonna go do number 6. You will show me your work first, and I better see the work on the side like I did here, and then you punch it into the box. Okay. So let me go ahead and read this one so you can have it ready to pause at home. It says during the baseball season, Dylan got a hit 40% of the times at bat. How is 40% written as a decimal? How is 40% written as a decimal is what they want you to do at home. Questions with number 6. Okay, so you're gonna do that at home, number 6. So right now, this is Andrea's homework journal. If you notice, there's number 2. She already did some of them already, right? You already did some of them? Okay, then I'm not gonna show it because then kids will have the answer. Who has not done the work yet? Thank you. Go home and review, Andrea. There we go. This is a good journal. So look, he did number 2 in class together. We did it, right? He's gonna go home and do number what? 1, exactly the way he did number 2. Then we did number 4 together. He's gonna go home and do number 3. In the back page, we did number 5. Make sure you number it and circle it so I can know. Make sure you box the answers and box the letters. There's some multiple choice answer type. He did number 5 in class, and now he's gonna go do number 6 at home. You see, he's even ready to go. Question 1 has to be done at home, so he'll do it. Draw a line. Question 3 will do. He might need more pages. I don't know. Okay. Questions with what I expect. So the order does not matter. Never leave space because we never know how much space we need. So we do it this way. I know, okay, this is number 2, this is number 4, this is number 5, and now over here you'll have number 1, you'll have number 3, and you'll have number 6, right? And that's what I'll grade tomorrow when you come in. And you'll as soon as you come in, you're gonna go into the computer and transfer your answers. You're gonna transfer your answers here. Whatever you chose, and you're gonna type in whatever you chose on this one. As soon as you come in tomorrow, you log into the computer and transfer your answers into the teacher made. And by the way, never click submit until I tell you to submit. You're gonna click finish later. So press finish later already. That's gonna record all your answers. Let it go all the way down and everything has been recorded. So like that you don't lose your answers. But if you do, that's why we do all the work on the journal. Okay? Questions with what's for homework? No? Okay. I'll stop. Now, if you have access to a computer, you always can go back to right now I'm going to put the video link here on this homework. It'll be right here on the notes. You'll have a video link, but you also have it on YouTube. Okay? Yes. And you'll have today's date, and the title will be called 6.4G. That's the title of the assignment. Okay? So let me stop it right now.